back to another video. My name is Alizaya and I'm here for Black Transsexual. Get up into the big purr or whatever. Thank you guys for all the love and support. You already know we're having to do it big or whatever, right? And y'all, let me tell y'all something. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to pre-record all these videos for y'all because, girl, I'm off. So, I got to push out this content for y'all. How are y'all doing? Get up into it. I know y'all seen the title. I know y'all might be like, girl, what are we finna get into, girl? I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe before we get into today's video because I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. You already know. Get up into the big purr or whatever. Let's be beautiful mutuals or whatever. So y'all, this story takes place in like 2019, before COVID happened. You already know, girl. Your girl was, still being a hot girl summer. This is like when Megan finally came on the scene and, she was talking about drive the boat or whatever, girl. It was that era in life or whatever, right? So y'all, I'm not gonna hold you. I had this one homegirl. We're gonna call her Quita because I can't think of no names. So Quita, she was just as fast as me, she wanted to always talk to the boys. She always wanted to sit over here, So, I love me a good friend like that, That's all I used to strive for was male validation. So mind your business, mind your mouth, okay? So in the midst of it or whatever, right, that's when Quita or whatever, right, she decided, hey girl, you should come over to my house. We should spend the night or whatever, right? Let's just have some fun, right? So, I'm kudos. I'm having fun. I'm like, let me go have fun with my homegirl. I haven't talked to her in a minute, right? So, mind you, I've been over at her house before, but, like, this is, like, my second or third time coming over. I'm thinking, like, the first time or the second time, you'll get the hint, like, girl, maybe you need to clean up your house before, your friends come over, right? So, I'm like, okay, cool, She didn't want to clean up her house. Okay, cool. So, I go over to her house. It's the same old, dirty house or whatever, right? But, she's my friend, and I like hanging out with my friends. So, I'm going to, hang around her dirtiness because, whatever, right? So, I'm not going to hold you. Like, she was like, girl, I'm thinking about inviting this dude over. You should talk to old dude, your second body. You should talk to him and be like,
hey, you should pull up on me and stuff like that.
I'm trying to tell homegirl, like, girl, I haven't talked to that boy since I exposed him. Like, let's be for real. Like, I haven't talked to that DL boy in a long time. No tea, no shade. That's past history. If you want that story time, go watch it, after this video. No tea, no shade. So, in the midst of it or whatever, this is when I was telling my homegirl, if we're gonna invite some dudes over, maybe we need to straighten up so we can invite them over, they can have room and stuff. She was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So we started cleaning up or whatever. Mind you, the room is I'm starting to see some progress. I'm like, girl, I'm starting to see like areas I've never seen before in this room. Like everything's organized, everything's neat, everything's fashionable, everything's given what it's supposed to be gave, right. So this is like, we finally got done like around, 7 or 8 o'clock, right? Mind you, I need y'all to understand this. I hope nobody puts this story together or whatever, right? But oh well. So she had a brother, right? I didn't know that she had a brother. Like, she always told me that she had a brother, but I didn't know her brother was this boy. We're gonna call him Glizzy or whatever, right? So Glizzy, Glizzy hit me up a long time ago, back when I was in high school or whatever, right? He hit me up and he was like,
yo, I'm not gonna lie, you're fine, this and that, I'm trying to get to know you.
Okay, good, y'all, he don't know that I'm trans. After I'm realizing that he doesn't know that I'm trans, the conversation is actually starting to go somewhere or whatever, right? I hit him and I was like, I'm trans and I'm I just wanted to let you know. He was like, man, fool, you tricked me, this and that. So, he blocked me. So we left on bad terms, right? I never thought I would see him again. And this is what, is starting to play in this story time, right? So Glizzy, he walks through the door or whatever, right? We lock eyes or whatever, right? Because mind you, we just got done. So we're in the living room, right? We lock eyes, and I put my head down immediately, girl, because I'm like, oh, my God. And then here goes homegirl, Raquita, or whatever I call her name. And so Raquita, she's sitting over here saying,
oh, Alizé, this is my brother, whatever, right? Glizzy, this is Alizé. Alizé, this is Glizzy.
I'm just like, hi, she's like, why you so awkward? I'm like, girl, I'm tired, let's go to your room, whatever. I'm trying to, ease up out this situation because I'm like, I'm a little embarrassed, right? She don't know that we had history or had whatever it was, right? So, that's when, I sit over here and we go into her room or whatever, right? So we're trying to plan or whatever, what trade we gonna link with tonight, right? We're trying to see what trade we gonna link with. So she wanted to link with this popular boy. We're gonna call him Zay, because it matches with his name. Yeah, I don't know if there's Waco people watching me, mind your business. But so basically Zay, he's this popular hoodlum or whatever, this little hood booger or whatever, right? He got some criminal history, so all the girls love him. All the girls love the bad boys or whatever, right? So he was very popular for that, right? So then that's when, basically she was like, yeah, I'm gonna invite Zay over or whatever. You should really invite some dude over, right? And so I'm like, girl, I don't have nobody. So, I'm trying to find somebody to link with or whatever. I'm being desperate now. I'm sitting over here texting every boy that follows me. Hey, yo, you want some washing machine treatment? Hey, yo, you want to sit over here and, break some walls in? Hey, yo, blase. Mind you, I'm a virgin at the time. I'm saying bodies like I actually caught bodies at this time. I had no real bodies. I just, gave washing machine treatment. Just had to clarify and throw that out there, right? This is when I finally met, we're gonna call him Sloppy Body or whatever, right? Ooh, Lord, I'm gonna say his real name. So Sloppy Body, he ended up responding to me, right? And I only really kept talking to him because I seen in his profile he had dreads or whatever, right?
Cheers.
So I was talking to Sloppy Body and I was like, yo, what you doing? What you got going? He's like, do I know you? I'm like, no, you don't know me, but you could get to know me or whatever. I'm trying to be a black transsexual or whatever. And so he's like, oh, for sure, so he's like asking me where I'm from and stuff like that, creating simple conversations or whatever, right? So then that's when, I pull out the question, do you want some washing machine treatment? He's like, yeah, I want some washing machine treatment. You you mobile, whatever, right? I told him like, nah, I'm not mobile, stuff like that. He's like, it's okay, I can get you Uber to my place if you want to do that or whatever, right? So I was like, you gonna give me an Uber to you? Okay, that's good. But
I do need to clarify, if you're going to any man's house and he says that he's gonna offer you a ride, you need to make sure that you got a ride back home, okay? Because this story time really, it really blew me in proportion. You get what I mean, right?
After that, I'm asking him, I'm like, yo, so how we gonna do this, or whatever, right? He's like, well, I'm gonna get dressed or whatever, and I'm gonna let you know when you can pull up or whatever, right? So I tell him, for sure, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go get dressed, make sure everything's good. But then it didn't click to me that, I didn't tell this boy that I was trans, right? So after I got out the shower or whatever, right, and my homegirl, she's like, getting prepared, she's making sure her, mushikush or whatever, like her little moose or whatever is, good or whatever, right, to go traveling, right? So after I get out the shower, I'm telling her like, girl, how do I tell this boy that I'm trans or whatever? She's like, girl, just tell him or whatever, right? So, I texted her, I was like, hey, I gotta tell you something, right? This is how you always, any doll that doesn't tell a boy that they're trans off the rip, right? If you want to ease in the conversation and let him know that you're trans without, sitting over here, feeling ashamed or just scared or anything like that, I always sit here and say hey, I got a question, and then pause, send that, and then send another message, just in case if they don't open it, you can sit over here on Instagram, it won't show both messages. It'd be 2 messages sent, right? So they're going to want to open it because they're going to be like, what did this girl say, instead of you saying, hey, I hope I'm trans, because then they can see that message and then they're going to be like, oh, I'm not even going to respond, this and that, I'm just going to block you, stuff like that, That's when I sent those messages and I was like, hey, I'm trans. I hope this doesn't bother you, stuff and that. He's like, are you for real? So then he's telling me I'm going to call you because I need to see something, right? So, he calls me or whatever. And so then that's when, we get into the mix and, he's trying to check me out. He's like, put your face in the camera. So, I put my face in the camera. He's like, why you don't sound or look like a dude?
I'm like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that, right?
So then he's like, I guess you're the full package or whatever. He's asking me do I have a moose or whatever? Do I have a moose or do I have a popsicle stick? I'm like, I'm sorry, Buki, I have a popsicle stick. I hope that doesn't bother you. He's like, it doesn't bother me. He's like, do you sit over here and tell people your business? I'm like, no, I don't tell people my business as I'm telling y'all my business. But, mind your business, I mind mine, period. So in the midst of it or whatever, right, that's when dude, he's sitting over here, he's like, All right, well, I'm still down. If you're still down, I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm asking him, I was like, hey, can you send me a picture of what I'm working with, right? He's like, hey, I got you for sure. I'm gonna text you it or whatever, right? So that's when, I'm waiting for the text message or whatever, right? He sends me the most nicest princess wine I've ever seen or whatever, right? I'm like, girl, Cosmo, I did not know you had that on you, girl.
So I'm like, period, it's giving fairy appearance, hello.
So then in the midst of it or whatever, right? That's when, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm finna go, and I tell Raquita, I'm like, Raquita, I'm finna go, and I'll, let you know whatever happens or whatever, right? So then she's like, okay, that's good, so while I'm stepping out the house, right, that's when Zay, he pulls up with all his homeboys, right? I need y'all to understand, like, hood boogers, they always pull up with multiple boys in a car, because mind you, a lot of hood boogers don't have their own stuff, so, they gotta ride with their homeboys or whatever, right? I'm sitting over here, and my Uber pulled up, right? So me and Zay, we locking eyes or whatever, right? I'm like, okay, I don't know you, you don't know me, I mind my business, you mind yours or whatever, right? That's a whole nother story time, but we're not gonna get into that, right? So in the midst of it, I get in the car, whatever, I'm Ubering, and so the Uber driver, every Uber driver wants to talk to you, right? So the Uber drivers ask me, how's my day, blase, and I'm just like, yeah, it's good, I'm just going to go see my friend or whatever, right? So then that's when, I go silent, because when I go silent, I don't want to talk no more, right? So I'm just stop answering. I'm just act like I can't hear you, right? So I finally get there or whatever, right? And so the Uber driver is like, do you want me to wait until you get into the house? I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So, that's when, we're part, like, I think, like 2 or 3 houses down or whatever, because I guess he gave me a different address, right? So I'm telling dude, I'm like, hey, I'm outside. Do you see me or whatever, right? He's like, just come outside. I don't want nobody to see me or whatever, right? So, this is ghetto. So, I'm thinking I'm finna see a nice 6'4" dreadhead, a bodybuilder, somebody who looks like a hood booger or whatever, right? There's a reason why I gave him that name or whatever, right? So Sloppy Body stepped outside, the Uber driver done drove off or whatever, right? So when Sloppy Body stepped outside, I need everybody to understand, if y'all ever seen Stan Smith on American Dad, without the big chin, like, just all I seen was a bare belly with a man in his trousers or whatever, right? Big hairy gut outside and some doo-doo dreads.
What did I get myself into?
The ghetto.
So now I'm sitting over here and I'm like, oh my God, do I really have to sit over here and do this? Like, what did I do? But mind you, the only reason why I came over there, right? Because I told you I saw in his profile picture he had dreads or whatever, right? But I really didn't get to see his face or anything else like that. So I'm expecting, something at least cute or whatever, because his voice sounded fine or whatever, right? So I'm getting closer or whatever, right? Mind you, as I'm getting closer, he's getting shorter and I'm getting taller. I'm like, oh my God, what's really going on? So, I step in his house or whatever, and I look to my right. All I'm seeing is baby carriages, baby toys, baby stuff all over the place. I'm like, do you have a kid or whatever? He's like, yeah, I got an 8-month-old. I'm like, do you still talk to your baby mama? He's like, of course I talk to my baby mama. I'm like, ooh, Lord, honey.
Police! Help!
So, we walk in or whatever, right? And, we walk into his room or whatever. And that's when, I'm sitting over here and I'm starting to get the, guts. I'm starting to feel like a little, butterflies. I'm starting to get some butterflies in my, stomach, because I'm like, girl, what am I getting myself into? So then that's when, dude, he sits over here and he's like, I hope this doesn't bother you. My room is dirty and stuff like that. I'm lying saying that it doesn't bother me. But now that, like, personally, like, older me, this is my biggest ick. A dirty room, a dirty house, a dirty you. Like, just nasty. When he opens his door, I need everybody to understand, it's like I saw a dead man's lair. Like, if y'all ever seen somebody on My 600 Pounds Life and y'all seen their room is just so dirty with pizza boxes and everything all over the place, like, girl, it literally gave that, right? So I'm sitting over here and I sit on the edge of the bed because I'm like embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, I really have to sit over here and do this, right? So, you know, I'm sitting over here and I'm like, do you got a bathroom I can go use or whatever, right? So he's like, yeah, my bathroom's over there, and he points to it, right? So mind you, the whole room is dark, so I'm trying to get around all this trash on the floor or whatever, right? So I get to his bathroom, and mind you, I turn on the light and I shut the door. When I turn on the light and I turn around, all I'm seeing is junk. The toilet seat is up, because you know, like, boys that leave the toilet seat up, there's like pee stains all on the toilet seat. There's like doo-doo stains in the toilet seat. Just like, it's doo-doo, just it's stained. You know, the bathtub, he ain't had no shower curtain or whatever, right? So there's no shower curtain, and I'm looking in the shower and I'm just seeing like stains on the bathtub. I'm like, oh my God, you don't clean up. I step outside or whatever, right? I step out the bathroom. I'm like, do I really have to sit over here and do this? Like, are you really going to give me a ride home if I do what I'm doing? He's like, yeah, I'm going to get you a ride home or whatever, right? So I'm like, Alize, just take one for the team. Just take one for the team. So, you know, I'm like, so how we going to do this or whatever, right? Oh my goodness. Ew! This is when this big fat nigga, all I'm sitting over here imagining is like, oh my God, this man farts in my face. Like, I'm going to die. I'm going to black out. So, you know, he's in front of me. I'm right here, you know, just imagine me on my knees or whatever, right? And so, you know, when I sit over here and I'm expecting the most glorious princess wine of my life, I'm expecting, you know, a pack of meat. I'm expecting a pack of meat. I pull that thing down, and when I tell you, I did not expect to see the most smallest thing of my life. It literally gave a pink lighter. It literally gave this, like, it was so tiny. And mind you, when I pull the shorts down, all I'm smelling is aroma.
Child. Anyway,
so you know, I decided, you know, I was gonna sit over here and I was gonna do my little trick or whatever, right? So, you know, I start, you know, giving that man that washing machine treatment. And, you know, one thing about it, you know, I'm not dealing with, you know, a full-blown, you know, pack of meat. So, you know, I'm dealing with like a microscopic Vienna sausage. So, you know, you could easily caress a Vienna sausage and get that thing going, right? I'm sitting here, I'm asking him, like, you know, is this fully, you know, rock solid? Is this cinder block? He's like, yeah, you know, this is already, you know, rock solid or whatever. Does that bother you? In my head, I'm just like, oh my God, Alizea, I'm going to literally beat you up. But, you know, I said, oh no, it doesn't bother me, you know, you're okay. So then that's when, you know, we keep going. I'm giving that man that washing machine treatment. And so I guess he's talking to me dirty. While he's talking to me dirty, he's like, if you keep going and be a good girl, I'll buy you a PlayStation. If you sit over here and be a good girl, I will buy you this, I will buy you that. It don't look like you can buy me anything with this funky, nasty room. Like, what in the world? Don't shut up. He's sitting over here and he's telling me, like, you know, can I sit over here and like rip on, you know, the, you know, what do you call it, the peaches and cream or whatever, right? So he's trying to grip on my peaches and cream or whatever, and he's gripping on it, right? And like, you know, all you hearing is this. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm not turned on one bit. I'm so turned off. Like, I'm disgusted. Like, girl, usually my princess wine would be rock solid, but girl, my princess wine was not excited. She wasn't going a bippity boppity boo. She was going, what the hell is this? So then in the midst of it or whatever, right, I'm starting to get lockjaw. I'm starting to get tired. Mind you, I've been here for 30 minutes now giving this man washing machine treatment. And I feel like, you know, he's one of the type to sit over here and he's obsessed with, you know, what are we going to call it? Twitter videos. I feel like he's obsessed with Twitter videos. So, you know, I guess this man was not sitting over here, you know, reaching the top of the mountain. So then that's when I'm telling this man, I'm like, you know, whatever I can do that will get me out of this situation, I need to be blunt with you. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm getting lockjaw. Whatever we have to do to sit over here and make you reach the volcano, let's hurry up and get it over with, because I'm getting tired. So I'm telling dude that, and so he's starting to laugh. I'm like, this ain't no funny matter. Like, I'm finna get up and get off my knees and get done. Like, I'm finna, get scat out of here. And so then that's when dude, he tells me, he's like, if you sit over here and, do this and do this, I'll sit over here and, reach the top of the mountain and, my volcano or whatever. So, I sadly had to do this. And, what do you know? One thing about it, two things for sure, his volcano erupted. And so, I didn't, sit over here and, swallow the volcano, lava. Don't sit over here and think I did that. That's nasty. So, it's all on, his bed or whatever, and the edge on his carpet. And I'm just like, so that wraps it up, can I go home? Are you going to take me home? And so, after, he gets done with his, little, shenanigans, he comes back to reality. Oh, yeah, you do got to go home. I'm like, yeah, I got to go home. I got to go. Like, yeah, I'm disgusted. So then that's when dude, he's like, okay, well, I'm going to try to find you an Uber. I'm trying to find you a ride. Let me see if my homeboy can take you or whatever, right? So then that's when, dude, he's sitting over here and he's trying to find somebody. He's calling everybody that he can call. I'm like, why can't you just give me an Uber? He's like, I'm kind of broke right now. You're broke? You're broke?
It smells like poor people.
So then, in the midst of it or whatever, right, this is when I'm telling y'all, like, I'm starting to get mad. Like, I have a temper of my mom. Like, my mama has a terrible temper, so I'm starting to turn into my mama. Like, I'm starting to get really heated. And so I feel like he started to notice that I was getting really heated because he's trying to calm me down. He's like, just be patient. I'm going to get you there. And so then it's like 20 minutes later, I'm still not at this man's house. So I'm just like, how am I getting home? You finna do something. Like, I got to go. And so he's like, I'm going to try to find you an Uber. I'm like, you making excuses. So then that's when I get the bright idea. I'm like, you know what, Alizea, let's just walk. It's not that bad. Let's just walk. So I turn on my phone. I pull up GPS, girl. I'm trying to find some GPS or whatever, girl. And so, girl, I find GPS. GPS said it's a 45-minute walk. I said, I'll talk to you later, girl. So, I step outside. I go to Snapchat. And what did I do? Block. So, girl, I blocked him or whatever, girl, because I was not playing no games, girl. And, he ended up calling my number because I forgot I gave him my number. He's calling my number. I'm like 2 or 3 blocks already away from his house. Like, I'm speed walking. I'm trying to hurry up and get to my friend Raquita's house, right? He's calling me. He's like, hey, turn around. I can get you a ride or whatever. I'm like, I don't need your ride no more. I'm not in the mood. Stop talking to me or whatever, right? I finally, get close to her house. But I ended up calling my homegirl, Raquita. And I'm like, hey, can you tell your brother if he could come and get me or whatever? So then she asked her brother, and she's like, he's not answering. You just text him. So what did I do? I just texted him or whatever, right? And so, mind you, I'm still like 15 blocks away. Mind you, these are like hills. Because like Waco is a big city. It's a small city, but it's a big city, like terrain-wise, right? So I'm on this big hill, and I'm trying to climb this big hill, and I'm getting so tired. So I'm, texting dude. I'm texting, whatever we're going to call it. I called him Glizzy. I texted Glizzy. I'm like, hey, yo, I know we left on bad terms, but can you come and get me this and that? He's like, hey, look, gay ass, stop texting me. Stop texting my phone or whatever, right? And I'm not going to come and get you. So, girl, he blocked me. I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, girl, now I'm going to really get mad.
Like, it's not that serious.
So, girl, I'm walking. I finally get to her house or whatever, right? And so, mind you, I'm mad. So I get out of her house. I'm outside her house. I'm like, hey, can you let me in? I'm here or whatever, right? So she let me in or whatever, right? And I look to my right. I see Glizzy. And I'm just like, I just gave him the most stankiest face. I literally gave him the stankiest face. Because you dead wrong. Like, you ain't even have to like me. I could have gave you gas money. Like, girl, you dead wrong. So I'm talking to Raquita. And Raquita's sitting over here telling me, like, how Zay was sitting over here beating her walls in. How she had him over here on this bed. Had her on the countertop. Had her in the bathroom. I'm just like, okay, cool. That's cool. I didn't have that experience. I had to walk 45 minutes in terror, making sure I didn't get kidnapped. Like, I don't want to hear it. So then she asked me finally, she's like, so how was your experience? I'm sitting over here and I'm just like, girl, it didn't give what it was supposed to give. She's like, girl, how did it not give? I'm like, girl, the thing was microscopic. Like, I had never seen something so small. She starts busting out laughing. And while she's busting out laughing, I'm embarrassed. Because I'm like literally embarrassed. I'm like, girl, this is nothing. This is not funny at all. So then after that, girl, you know, that day happened. I will never, ever, ever, ever do something like that again. And I would never go to somebody's house if they're not going to sit here and give me a ride home if I can't provide myself a ride. So, yeah. But if y'all enjoyed this story time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because you will never find another black transsexual like me. Hello, hello, hello. And if you made it this far, go ahead and leave me a comment, girl. Go ahead and tell me how your day is. Or, girl, tell me a story time of your own. I can read them long paragraphs, girl. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm off for like 5 or 6 days, girl. So you already know. Before y'all sit over here and be like, girl, you're going to catch something. You're going to catch something like that. Girl, I was young. And I ain't catch nothing now. So I'm still good on myself. Been tested, still negative. So mind your business.